me how cold it is out here right now. It's 17 degrees.
Well, you already know. You got your smart fucking phone in your hand. You're so smart with that fucking phone in your hand.
Yeah, I'm way smart because I got a phone in my hand.
Yeah. Well, it's just a reflection of your own DNA. You're the real deal. Not that fucking technology, artificial intelligence.
Hi, Emma. What you doing? What are you doing? Are you out there being the dog? Are you being the dog? What are you doing? What are you doing? If anyone could tell a story about being in the now, ask any dog and they'll tell you how to be in the now. There is no other moment than this moment now. And Emma is exemplary in this, in observation. She is defragging herself. She is out there wandering, meandering in the woods, through the pastures. She's covered with burrs. Is there anything more important than deburring yourself? We're going to consider these concepts. Let's see if we can deburr ourselves. Let's see if we can free ourselves. Let's see if we can learn something this morning. And I welcome you again to Saturday Morning Cartoons on this very day. It's a new generation. Let's connect some dots. Hey there. Happy Saturday. It's really a great morning for cartoons, don't you think? It's 17 degrees where I am. Yeah, 17 degrees. And I got Sporto. Hey, Sporto. There he is. That's Sport. Sport's here with me. Dogs have it all understood. They know pure love energy. They don't mess around. They don't get all goofy and trippy. Man, if you scratch their belly and rub their ears and, show them love, they just return it. Humans should take a lesson from the dogs. Really, we'd all be better off. Yeah. So today I'm going to really focus on some crazy ideas. Crazy ideas. Because, well, here in Babylon, the Matrix, there is nothing real. We are being driven by an AI algorithm that is inspired by Mayan maniacs, maniacal maniacs. I mean, from my point of view. That's just my point of view. I don't know. Maybe that's radical thinking. Maybe I'm not hip to the times. Perhaps I'm just a little too old school because I actually have care, consideration, and kindness towards the human experience. Now, I also refer to the human experience as the human experiment. And I think the experiment is failing, folks. I think the human experiment is showing its true colors. We're not really loving each other, embracing each other, encompassing the potential of our greatness. We're being sidetracked. We're basically being distracted, overfed, overstimulated, directed into areas that have no real emotional context. None. Zero. Consumerism, media, overeating, clothing, how I look, the whole factor is, well, in the simplest terms, pretty fucked up. Welcome to Babylon. Welcome to the Matrix. This is cartoons on steroids. We're going to Saturday morning cartoons, the next generation, and I am creating episode 2 as we speak. Stay tuned. Hey, good morning. Happy Saturday, and it is actually Saturday. Now I want to show you this. We started this fire a week ago. It was last Sunday, so that would be, we're on 7th day now, and it is still burning. It's like a mini volcano. It has a thermal unit in there that originated from the original fire, and then when we started burying it with rubble, which is pure charcoal, essentially, but it was comprised of many other, basically, elements that are created by chemicals. The tar, tires, roofing, plastics, all these type of elements were incorporated into that rubble. So it still burns. And it's nowhere near completion. Now, we have gone through a whole week of weather that was off the chart crazy. We have gone through excessive monsoon rain, with massive lightning and thunderstorm activity. As soon as that passed, we had 3 days of that, 3 days. As soon as that passed, the temperature started dropping by 10 degrees an hour, and then we dropped to a freeze. And as you can see in evidence this morning, that we've got ice caps on this little volcano that's still burning. And right now it is, 15 degrees, something chilly. And this is what it all looks like this morning. Now I'm introducing this because I'm going to continue doing cartoons. And why do I call it cartoons? Because I realize that anything that we think is real is not. It's fabricated. It's manifested in creation. It's all manipulated, controlled, contrived. It's being created by graphics, corporate entities known as government agencies. And we are just simply being duped. We are totally being hoodwinked. And what can we do as humans to correct this, to protect us, to shift the paradigm? to actually have hope for the future of humanity. And we're going to talk about this today. Welcome to Saturday Morning Cartoons, the next generation. Okay, welcome back. I'm putting my glove on. The sun is back. Give me a second. I'm going to put my glove on. It is cold out here. I even changed my shoes. I put on my boots. Maybe you can see them. I don't know. Maybe you did. Maybe you didn't. Now I'm going to further discuss some ideas. Now, I've been questioning things for a long time. A real long time. And I'm going to just sit here right now and explain some things. Yeah, I am going to explain some things. Now, as a child, I witnessed the first live murder on TV. And that was Jack Ruby murdering Oswald in a Dallas police station after the Kennedy assassination. Now, I was just a child. This was curious. Since then, I have explored many dimensions. Now, a lot of those dimensions were stimulated by psychedelics, which I was introduced to in my teens in the counterculture. Big mystery. Now, this was all a part of MK Ultra, CIA experimentation. We were just test models, guinea pigs. The whole counterculture was actualized and now realized, including the music, as an experiment in mind control. Directives to shift the consciousness. And it has been extremely effective. Pay attention. I'm working at paying attention. Now, I've been looking at conspiracy for a long time. I don't know why. I don't know how. But it always created a curiosity in me. It was hard to believe. It was just simply hard to believe that everything that we're being told was the way it is. I don't know why I questioned, but I did. And I have. And I still continue to question what I see as perceived, as believable in the Matrix. is questionable. So I'm going to go back to the last clip. And so I breathe. I breathe. And I can hear woodpeckers. I can see my breath. And it is cold out here. I'm going to take a moment to reflect of why any of this is a message at all. I hear a car coming. This is being in the now. What is the now? What do we understand? What do we know? What do we realize? What are we paying attention to? Do we have any idea? I don't claim anything. I'm doing the best I can. I'm just sitting here watching the sunrise. And it is. It's a new moment. I recognize this. I'm doing the best I can right now with all this cold, with all this freeze, with all this preparation to reveal some thought. It has taken me this long, honestly. To consider this moment. To even consider this now. And the sun is rising. Wow. I'm going to do my best. Really honestly right now. God, this is beautiful in front of me. It is beautiful. It's calm. It's frozen. I hear the fan running. If you could see what I could see, it would blow your mind. But I'm not going to show you right now. I want to tell you something. First and foremost, I'm really cold. I am freezing. But I want to convey a message. I think right now, the only message I can think of is be here now. Be here now. Let's that settle for a minute. I am freezing. That's just a perspective point of view. Taking off my glove. If I don't take off my glove, I cannot stop the camera. All right, I'm back. Now, I've been talking to Jeff for the last hour. We've covered some stuff. And so I'm back outside, and I want to just show you that chemtrails are back in action. Okay? They're everywhere. It's happening. So I'm going to go back to where I was before my discussion with Jeff. I want to talk about, my awakening, my awareness, and my understanding of things that I observe. For 20 years, I've observed chemtrails. I've made videos about it. I've written poems about it. I've discussed it. I've talked about 9/11. I've talked about Oklahoma City. I've talked about Kennedy, and God, the list is long. But what I'm awakened to is the realization that everything that I ever learned, everything that I was ever taught, was simply a lie. Now, this was a major shift in my life, and this happened 2.5 years ago. I discovered that the whole global thing was really manifested in a directive to really keep us distracted and not having us pay attention to who we really are. Then I discovered urine therapy, which helped me realize that I actually have control of my own health. And so I've been deeply enmeshed in awakening myself to the fact that I can heal myself and spiritually be evolved by paying attention to the simple fact that I am that I am. I am the universe. I am the God. I am within. And it's in all doctrine that suggests this reasoning, and I accept at this point. So now I'm 6 or 5. I'm back to an awakened state. I've been subscribing to a whole bunch of new different channels on YouTube because I am just realizing that there is so much more truth out there. There is a truth movement. And the truth movement is really valuable. And you can label it any way you want, but truth is what it is. And if we don't awaken ourselves to the truth, who are we kidding? Who is being mistaken? Are beliefs that important that we're attached that deep? What is preventing us? Is it our ego? Our education? Is it our belief system that prevents us from realizing that we've all been hoodwinked? We've been misled, misdirected, lied to, and shoved into places that none of us are really comfortable with. And so now I'm wakening up. The weather is all manipulated. There is no actual, real weather anymore. That's just simply the truth. And I'm aware of that now. I pay attention to that. Everything that you watch is just another click, another trick, another part of the matrix that is just being imposed upon you to keep you distracted so that you don't pay attention to what you actually realize, what you experience, what you witness, what you observe. And when you realize this, you might shift gears. I don't know, but I have. Hey, I'm back again. Imagine that. I'm watching the sky change. As I mentioned before, I've been watching a lot of things for a long time. I've actually subscribed to a lot of new channels because, well, I think they're interesting and they have something to reveal. And, well, I encourage you to consider some of them a plain truth. Weather Wars 101. Oh, geez, there's so many. I've subscribed to dozens. And the reason I've subscribed is because I've been watching this for 20 years and nobody was listening. And now I find more people paying attention to something that is really quite profound and worthy of paying attention to. And it's not just about the chemtrails. It's not just about HARP. You know, all the patents, the weather manipulation, the perpetual wars, the eugenics, the population control, the vaccines, the sterilizations, the mind control, the fact that all of our whole governmental system is based on corporations, all of it. The United States, the CIA, the FBI, the EPA, they're all just private corporations. The CDC, they're just private corporations. And they all benefit, they all profit, they all patent, and they all, as George Carlin once said, you know, it's a big club and you're not in it, you know. Get with the program. We are enemies of the state. This is clear. It's in documents. It's been well stated. It's kind of every man for himself in a certain degree. But I don't want to abandon humanity personally. I actually care that much. I'm that empathetic. I actually care. Think about that. I am back. I'm still here. You better believe I'm still here. Now I'm going to pull my glove back on. Give me a moment. All right, there it is. Now I'm just getting started. I'm just getting started. I told you, I've been looking at conspiracies for a long time. I've questioned everything for a long time. I am now to the point where I know nothing. I know nothing. I have been looking at so many different aspects that, I don't know, everything that I was taught has proved to be incorrect, wrong. And I surrender. I accept. I trust. I hope that the truth will actually set me free. I really hope that the truth will set me free. because everything I've known up till now has been deceptive, secretive, manipulative, lying. I don't know what is truth except my own truth. So now I rely on my own perception, my point of view, my outlook, and what I perceive, because I know nothing other than that. I know nothing other than that. So if you want to address me anymore, treat me like I'm 6 or 5. Bring me the best evidence you can. Show me your evidence. Give me proof. Otherwise, I'm going to look at you with amazement, wonderment, confusion, and I'll just stand and pause and wonder. Welcome to Babylon. Welcome to the Matrix. Everything you ever thought may be incorrect, contrived, misleading, misdirected, misinformed. You have to do the math. You are responsible for connecting the dots. I'm going to see if I can go find Jeff. Hey there. I want to acknowledge some things. Now, over the last 2.5 years, I had to come to a recognition, a realization, an understanding, and a complete shift of paradigm. Now, I'm going to explain how all this happened. But first, I got to put my glove back on because it's really cold out here. And since I am the producer, director, the scriptwriter, and the cameraman, you have to bear with me. Okay, glove back on. So I want to talk about some things, not to mention the reindeer behind me with the pine cone on his head. And even further behind me, let me step back and take another view. Let's see where to go. Oh, here we go. Oh, there it is. That's kind of like the 3 little boys holding their units. And it's got a cantaloupe helmet. Freezing out here in the cold. So I'm going to tell you some stories. I'm going to tell you how I transformed from being impressed by science. I was impressed by science. Make no mistake, I thought it was fascinating, interesting, elevating, illuminating, and educating. But I was being misinformed, misled, misdirected, and being guided in the wrong direction. So I'm going to give you some backstory of my own personal awakening. And it started 2.5 years ago. Well, actually, almost 3.5 years ago. When I first saw on my news feed on YouTube about flat Earth. Flat Earth. I thought, flat Earth? What's flat Earth? I had no clue. I had no idea. And basically, I ignored it for almost a year. I just ignored it because I was doing other things and I was paying attention to other things that I felt were more important than another conspiracy theory. Now, I want to actually take this moment to discuss conspiracy theory. Now, I've been labeled as that, a conspiracy theorist, but I further recognized I'm a conspiracy analyst. And more important than that, I'm actually a conspiracy realist. Now, when you gather enough fact, when you can go in and actually resource the patents, the procedures, the protocols, and all of the elements that are involved in how things are perpetrated, you might change your point of view. I don't know. Now, it took me almost a year, before I even opened up a window to decidedly look at what people were calling flat Earth. Now, I've done a lot of research. I changed my mind. What I went in to disprove, well, I found myself mistaken. So what this required of me is that I had to readjust, reassign, reassemble, and realize that everything I was ever told was a lie. It was mythical. It was magical. It was mysterious. And it was science-based, not to just single that out. But you look at the patents, you do the math, you're going to discover that we have been manipulated and controlled and driven into a direction away from ourselves for a very long time. Now, for me, that was humbling. I was angered. I went through the 5 stages of depression. I mean, I mourned over it. I was angry about it. I was really pissed off. And then I came to a point of peace and resolve where I realized, okay, now, I think I'll just give up adulthood completely unconditionally. Go back to when I was, 6 or 5. You know, when I was being instrumentally led into a direction that was questionable at best. I can even recall when I was a child in grade school, wondering why I was doing a pledge of allegiance to a flag, why I was diving underneath tables with sirens going off and drills going on. I did question this. I was never really a model student. I never got with the program. But I intend to start over. And I've been working at this for a few years now. And we're going to get into some subject matter that I personally have been looking at for decades. This is what has happened to me. You want to know who I am? You want to know what happened to me? I'm going to share some insights. Stay tuned. Got to take off my glove. My camera won't respond if I don't. Now, as you can see, that is a volcano. That fire we built up, spent a couple of days building it, several days building it, putting it together, and then we ignited it on Sunday, and now it's Thursday, so it's now going on, 4.5 days, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday afternoon. We started it at 9 a.m. on Sunday morning. Pretty amazing, huh? And we have had torrential rains. Last night it was monsoon-like. Squalls that were pounding the whole area. And lightning and thunderstorms. The sky was lighting up like a pinball machine. And through all that, our volcano still burns. Look at that thing. We got a core in there. That is some amazing heat. Now, me, while I'm shooting this, I'm in the middle of taking my pea soak. My beautiful aged urine pea soak bath. I got a steamy hot bathroom. And now I'm standing out here, and you may hear the wind blowing. I don't know if you can even hear me. But the temperature is dropping, and it's now down below freezing. And we're going to be going down to like 11 degrees. And I'm standing out here with a towel around my waist, doing kind of a pseudo-fake Wim Hof move. I'm out here doing the extreme cold, and I go back in and do the extreme heat. And I'm sitting, I'm not here doing the Wim Hof breathing method. I'm actually smoking a cigarette. In, out, push it, pull it, burp it, fart it. It's all a burp, a fart, a hiccup, and a sneeze. That's what happens when you get banged in the womb, according to Dr. Bellarmine. We're all fucked up because Daddy just kept fucking Mommy while we were in there. That's what happened. That's a lot of math to do. Most people don't have the time to do that kind of math. But Dr. Bellarmine Buttons, he knows that shit well. He got that shit figured out. And I hear him. I can hear him. But for now, my little titties, my little nipples are so frozen, I think that they would crack if I hit them. So I think I've had enough cold therapy in the minute. I think it's time to go back in and get in my hot bath in the the steamy, pea-soaked spa room with the incense burning. So there it is. Just a little chair. 4.5 minutes of freezing my ass off to tell you that I love you. What do you think about that? I'm still standing here. I've been out here now for... Well, the camera says 4:40, but I came out here before I went back in and got the camera, so I've been out here way over 5 minutes in below freezing temperature. Watching a volcano. Hoo-ah! It's a beautiful day to be alive. Celebrate every moment you get. It's the only one that matters. Ciao for now.
I think it's been fire waxed instead of weed waxed.
I just want to record this for a minute. How quickly it all changed. This all happened in a matter of minutes. Look at those formations. Check it.
Come on, baby, light my fire.
This.